Hello, hello! My name is Ashlee and welcome to my channel! Today, we are going to be talking about Hasan kind of getting canceled in a sense for not wanting to vote for Gavin Newsom, which is such a crazy way to get canceled. And then Anna on I've Had It. And so I'm very excited for today. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe and turn on post notifications and comment. Comments always help. And yeah, all right, let's get into it. So hello. Yes, welcome to Monday night. Yes, hello, good evening. Hello. I am very excited for today because we are going to be talking about some things that I, of course, have lots of opinions on. So today we are going to be talking about something that happened last week, which was Hasan got essentially canceled by like liberal Twitter because he was on I've Had It and he said that he wasn't going to vote for Gavin Newsom. If it was between Gavin Newsom and JD Vance, that he probably would just vote third party. So that's what he said. And we're going to watch the video of him saying that, and then we're going to see some people's responses. And yeah, and then we're gonna watch, kind of in the same vein, Anna on I've Had It, and I have a couple moments of that I've pulled up that I really, really want to watch. And I remember waking up that morning. It was last week. I forget which morning it was. It happened the same thing because they did a podcast with Jank as well not too long ago, and when they did the podcast with Jank, their viewers didn't seem very happy. Their viewers don't seem very happy about Anna, which is interesting. But I woke up that day when they posted the Anna podcast, and I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Really, out of all the people in the world, Anna Kasparian? Okay. But yeah, we're gonna do that. So first, let's get into Hasan. So Hasan was on I've Had It, like I said, and people were not happy with his take. And so the person who posted this is a person who's not happy with his take. So he said, or this person said, they said, Hasan Piker prefers Republicans in power because it enables him to role play as a revolutionary, boosting his visibility and lining his pockets in the process. At the end of the day, that's all he really truly cares about. Okay, so that's what this person says. Now we're gonna watch this clip, all right? And we're gonna hear what he has to say, because I don't think that's it. Also, not that I have anything to say. Like, I listened. I talk about drama on here. Sometimes mostly I talk about drama, but I also talk about real things. So sometimes I don't like being like pigeonholed as like a drama person, but I guess I am. But this person's like, okay, celebrity news and gossip, and it's like, okay, and you're mad at Hasan? You're mad at Hasan? Okay. Anyway, just I had to note that. Okay, that this person was like a celebrity news and gossip, like streamer or YouTuber, and they're saying that he's role playing as a revolutionary. Anyway, let's watch this.
Disappointed in
Who do you vote for, JD Vance or?
Actually, one second. Yeah, one second. Let me do something real quick, and then we should be good. Okay, there we go.
And I still stand on that. I still talk about it all the time because people.
I went too much forward.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, at that.
Okay, we're gonna start
For him.
Disappointed in
Who
Gavin
do you vote
Newsom.
for, JD Vance or Gavin Newsom?
Well, I'd have to vote for Gavin Newsom.
Me
of
too.
course, 100%.
I wouldn't blink.
There's no
What
doubt.
about you, Hasan?
I'd probably vote third party.
You would?
Oh yeah. I mean, at that point, it doesn't even matter. Like, because my policy on this is the same as like my refusal to endorse Kamala Harris. The reason why I did not endorse Kamala Harris was because she did things that were not only unproductive, but also.
Well, and at least this person is posting the whole like clip, because a lot of people have just been like cutting it off and not showing all of it, but you'll see it as
unconscionable. And I still stand on that. I still talk about it all the time because people constantly bring it up. They're like, you didn't sufficiently like promote Kamala Harris. You're the reason why she lost. And I'm like, I am incapable. There is no singular force in this country that is capable of making or breaking an election. And if that was real, then it is the most idiotic thing not to listen to my demands. But everybody knows that that's not real, right? Mm-hmm. If I had this singular force to be able to make Kamala Harris the president, then Kamala Harris should be coming to me every day and being like, let me do a collab with you, please.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the case, of course. And they know it. That's why they didn't do it. But the campaigns are always responsible for whether or not they are able to win the crowds, win the population over, and combat against the couch. Not necessarily even against the Republican Party, but usually you're fighting against the couch, people who just don't go out and vote. And for
Okay, that's enough. That's essentially what we're talking about right now. Okay, so I will just say. Oh, yeah, you're saying that you're saying at least they acknowledged that people were upset with Jang being on little to no pushback. Yeah, and they asked, they asked Anna some good questions too. So I'm like, I've had it. I'm not like mad at the guests they have. Every guest that they have, they've pushed back when they needed to. So like, I really like I've Had It. I love those ladies. I think they're great. But this made people really mad, and this made people really mad, and people are coming out of the woodworks being like, you wouldn't vote for Gavin Newsom, like, you are like, can you say that to a trans person, can you say that to this person, basically using trans people as like this political tool to guilt trip you into voting for someone like Gavin Newsom. And so a bunch of liberals online were really mad and were like, oh my gosh, Hasan doesn't care about marginalized communities. He doesn't care about this person. He doesn't care about that person. Essentially, he's role playing a revolutionary. Now, this is a conversation that I get so frustrated about, and it's something that has been getting more and more frustrating as we go on, because there are certain people online that will just defend the Democrats, no questions asked. They will just keep defending them, and I do like to call them blue MAGA, because they just keep defending them no matter what they do, no matter what they say. And if you give any type of pushback, it's like a guilt trip. It's like, oh, you just want Republicans to win. The base is no longer doing that. So whoever, like the base, the actual base of the Democrats are literally out there in the streets, are literally out there protesting, are out there organizing, are out there against ICE and have whistles and are out there and are helping their neighbors. That's what the Democratic Party is doing. That's what the base is doing. And I personally really do believe that a lot of the base and a lot of just like regular normie Democrats are getting radicalized by how bad things are. But media pundits and all these like influencers that are obviously like working with the Democratic Party insist on just like covering their asses for whatever reason. And I guess it's because I don't know if their pocketbooks are getting lined or what, but to continue to prop people up like Gavin Newsom, out of all of the people that you could pick that could be running for president, you were going to pick Gavin Newsom to stand up for. I just think it's ridiculous, and I think it's stupid that people are upset. And again, this is something that I get frustrated with the Democrats with, because actually if Wajahat Ali, I watch him all the time. I was watching him earlier. He was on Joy Reid's show and Hakeem Jeffries was on there, and I should do a video about it, because he pushed back against Hakeem Jeffries like I don't think anyone has, and it was wonderful to watch, and he was trying to explain to him how frustrated everyone is, and Hakeem Jeffries was like, I understand that some people would like to say that everything's the same under Republicans and Democrats, but that's just not true. And to a certain extent, yes, he's right. He is somewhat right. Like, yeah, they wouldn't be out here killing protesters, but they would still have ICE, and they would still be out here essentially taking people to concentration camps. Like there were still detention camps when Biden was around. Something that liberals keep saying is, oh, Biden deported more people than Trump in his first or whatever. And so to act like liberals and to act like establishment Democrats don't sit here and do very similar things is ridiculous. And Hakeem Jeffries can't even say abolish ICE. Like Wajahat tried to get him to say, okay, can you just say abolish ICE? And he couldn't even say abolish ICE. So this is my problem with the Democrats. My problem with the Democrats, oh, it's lagging? No, I'm sorry if it's lagging. I have it. I don't know if it's just like what's going on, because I have the Ethernet cable plugged in. So hopefully it shouldn't be lagging. No. Is that what it's saying? Oh, no, that's not it. Okay, I don't know. Hopefully it'll stop lagging. Let me know if it keeps being a problem. Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer should resign. They should resign. Yeah, I thought they were underprepared to push back to the level I would have liked just because I have followed the downfall of TYT for years now. Yeah, I agree. Okay, sorry, I don't know why it's lagging. I feel bad. Let me know if it keeps being a problem. I have my Ethernet cable plugged in, so hopefully it shouldn't be a problem. Um This hasn't happened in a very long time. You see no lag? Okay. I was gonna say this hasn't happened in a very long time. Anyway, but okay, so we're gonna watch Jennifer Welch also responding to the outrage and some of the responses. But I just wanted to say, like, Gavin Newsom is horrible. And when everyone was like sitting here and being like, oh, he's doing so good on Twitter and oh my God, can you believe it? I was like, yeah, it's funny. What he's saying is funny. But let's not put him to the top of the list for someone to become president. And I have been standing on that since day one. And I think a lot of regular people also see that they don't want someone like Gavin Newsom. They don't want an establishment Democrat that has no views whatsoever, that is wishy-washy, will go back and forth, and it just has no views. And the things he does have views on are horrible. The way he treats unhoused people is horrible. He had a whole video. He had a whole press conference of him going out and literally pushing people off of the streets. And it's like to put him on this pedestal as if he is just naturally the next choice. And we all just have to get in line years before we should even be doing, like, thinking about who is that one person, is insane to me, because this has been the problem all along. We need a robust primary. We need, I don't care. I want everyone to join the primary. I don't care. I hate Rob Emanuel, but hey, he's going to join the primary because I am sick and tired of the establishment Democrats, and I'm sick and tired of it being a seniority thing. Everyone has to have a seniority, and this is their time, and who cares about anybody else? I'm sick and tired of having the corporate Democratic Party tell me who I should be voting for and not even think twice about if they're going to give us anything in return. Not even think twice about if they want to, like, what their stances are or if they even stand for anything. And so I'm just sick and tired of it. I'm done. And I think most people are. And something that Jennifer Welch does say is that, like, she's like, well, I have red state trauma. I will, crawl over broken glass to vote for marginalized groups, to vote for their rights. And Hasan said, and do you think that they use that against you? Like, do you think they use that and know that you're going to do that, and so they don't even have any policy positions? And she said yes, and it's because that's exactly what they do. And that's what all these people online were doing. They were like, oh, you hate trans people because you won't vote for Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom threw trans people under the bus a million times, has and continues to. Liberals like Gavin Newsom, liberals like Ezra Klein, liberals like Chuck Schumer, like Hakeem Jeffries will sit here and throw every single person under the bus. They will throw everybody under the bus as long as they get to keep their power. They get to keep the money that they're getting from whoever they're getting it from all the lobbyists. And as long as they keep their power and they keep their seat and they keep their money, then they'll throw anybody under the bus. They don't care. They don't care. Like, and that's what I think, like, again, I think most normie Democrats, I think most normies on the ground are getting radicalized, and they see that. And they see that in their everyday lives, that Democrats just don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They're a part of the same elite class that all of these, conservatives are in, and all these conservative pundits, they're in the same elite class. They're not on your side. They're not on my side. So when they say, oh, I guess you just don't care about gay people, I guess you don't care about trans people, that is not true, because Gavin Newsom doesn't care about them either. Gavin Newsom will throw them under the bus in a minute. In a minute. He did that with Charlie Kirk. He did it with Ben Shapiro. I have a clip we're going to watch in a second of him with Ben Shapiro and him just caving. Ben Shapiro has one little pushback, and he just caves. No backbone, no nothing. know nothing. How do you expect someone like that to sit here and fight against them? You can have all the, the cute little tweets all you want, but that's not governing. Having little tweets is not governing, okay? Having fun little comebacks is not governing. That's not what it is. And so it's just ridiculous. And we've elected the guy who sits on Twitter or True Social or whatever the hell all day with his quick little retorts, his little stupid little retorts. We elected that guy. Well, not we, but America elected that guy. And look where we are. We don't need another person. And he wasn't even the person writing the tweets. He wasn't even the person writing him or posting the tweets. So it doesn't even matter. But anyway, it still stands. Why would we elect someone who just has the quick retort, but not actually the governing part of it, doesn't want to actually govern for the people, wants to govern for big business in Silicon Valley and all these big mega donors, because that's who he has always governed for. That's who he has always stood up for. Okay, anyway, yeah, they need to get the F out. They do. Blue no matter who, but not even Mondami got Schumer thumbs up. Yeah, that's the thing also. They always want to, and this is during the election and during Zoran, this got me really heated, because this is something that is so frustrating. People on the left, people to the left of the centrists and the liberals, we are always screaming from the rooftops for one thing. When Kamala was running, it was just have one Palestinian speaker. One. The bar was in the basement, right? That's how low the bar was. That's the lowest bar that they had to clear, and they couldn't even do that. So what? I just don't understand. I just don't understand how they want leftists to sit here and comply. They want us to be okay, well, you have to vote blue, you have to do this, or you hate marginalized communities, or you're not a real Democrat, or you're not a real whatever. And it's just constant guilt tripping over and over and over again. And yet when we finally are no, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to keep playing this game with you. Democrats need to buckle up. They need to actually do some shit, or they're not going to get voted in again. And I understand that the midterms are, well, this is the other thing. So I understand that the midterms, that everyone's the midterms, it's going to go to Democrats, because Democrats are winning a lot of the special elections, or a lot of the local elections that have been happening in actually very red areas. And it's because people are pissed, right? People don't like the state of things. But I think that they're getting too comfortable with, it's just going to be an inevitability. And they're not. I think a lot of liberals, and I think a lot of, again, not normies, not just regular people, but I think a lot of people online, a lot of liberals online, a lot of liberal media pundits and politicians really just think that after Trump gets out of office, it's going to be business as usual. Or even while Trump's in office, that they're just going to have to get to the midterm and then it's going to be business as usual and everything will be fine and calm down. And they're delusional and naive, I think, because they have been threatening our elections all last year. They're threatening it now. Steve Bannon is saying they're going to have ICE agents literally at all the polling places to intimidate people. This is something that I don't think are taking as seriously as they need to. And they're just go out and vote, and we'll just vote in the midterms and everything will be fine after that. And that is honestly super naive to me, because I think Donald Trump and the Republicans have a plan, and they will continue to have a plan to, take over whatever election they want, to do whatever they want, because that is what they have been doing. That's why they're trying to pass the SAVE Act, because they're trying to get less people who are eligible to vote. They also have been purging voter rolls, and this is even before Donald Trump was president. They've been purging voter rolls. They've been gerrymandering, and all of this is compiled into after all of these years of Republicans getting able to get away with all of those things because the Democrats never fought back, because the Democrats helped usher in this fascism by not wanting to stand up, by wanting to be compliant, by not wanting to make any noise or disturb business as usual. And so they just kept letting Republicans do what they want over and over and over and over and over again. And now here we are. Now we are in a place where if they don't fight back and if they don't find their backbones, then just being like, oh, well, we'll get them in the midterms is not enough. It's not enough. And I don't think that they see that. I don't think that they get that. I don't think people like Chuck Schumer or Hakeem Jeffries even understand that. Like, I think they're like in a different reality or something. I don't know what's wrong. Okay. Anyway, it seems to have stopped now. Good. Great. I'm glad. I'm good. I'm so glad. I always get nervous when things don't work. Newsom also vetoed universal health care bill for California. Yep. It was someone on a social media team, not him. I know. And that's why when everyone was like, oh my God, Gavin Newsom, he's so funny. I didn't really talk about it much because I hate Gavin Newsom and I really don't want to give him any credit at all for anything. To be completely honest. But the next thing we're gonna watch is now that I've gone on my rant, the next thing we're gonna watch is actually Jennifer Welch talking about it. So we're probably not gonna watch the whole thing, but we're gonna watch parts of it. So let me share that right now. So Hasan said the Queen has spoken. Basically, she reacted to all of the cancellation uproar. I don't want to call it a cancellation because he wasn't canceled. This is stupid. I don't feel like anyone really gets canceled anymore. But I don't think it was ever really real because people still have all the people who were quote unquote canceled are doing just fine right now, it seems. But the uproar, so after all the uproar, she created a video about just responding to the uproar of Hasan's comments. And this is what someone said about it. When asked if he'd vote for Gavin Newsom or JD Vance for president, I'm sorry. Okay. Hasan said, at least I'm not like Hasan. I didn't burp into the microphone. I was listening earlier and he like burped into the microphone. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so let me start over. When asked if he'd vote for Gavin Newsom or JD Vance for president, Hasan says he'd vote third party. This proves apparently that Hasan doesn't care about any of these marginalized groups he pretends to support. All he cares about is taking money from them so he can buy more outfits for stream. We're going to watch this, but I just want to say how frustrating it is because it's like, actually, you know what? I'm going to put it back on you. Do you care about marginalized communities? Because you're telling everyone to vote for Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom, who, like Cenk Uygur, listen, like Cenk Uygur, he's talked to all these different people on his podcast, Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, Steve Bannon, all these go down the list, right? And he's sitting here saying, we need to have a conversation with them. And he's sitting in here, he's not pushing back. And he's, he is doing the same thing. And the difference, I would say, between Cenk Uygur and Gavin Newsom is Cenk Uygur is just a media pundit. So he's going to sit here and talk about it and be like, oh, I'm so moral, whatever the hell, because I can talk to Tucker Carlson, blah, blah, blah. But really, it's not doing much. I don't think it's doing much to change anything, right? Gavin Newsom is the governor of California. And the fact that the governor of California has a podcast is utterly ridiculous to me. I'm just going to say that. It's insane that all of these elected officials have podcasts. It's ridiculous, honestly, but that's another topic for another day. I think it's really insane that has become the norm in our society. But hey, but anyway, Gavin Newsom is the governor. Him talking to Ben Shapiro does have tangible results in policy and what he does and how he thinks about policy and goes about governing. like this, like, it's not good. It's not a good thing that he's sitting here and he's like, I'm gonna talk to Steve Bannon, and I'm gonna talk to Charlie Kirk, and I'm gonna talk to Ben Shapiro, and then I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna throw trans people under the bus. I'm gonna throw unhoused people under the bus, and I'm gonna, throw Palestinians under the bus. You want to talk about AIPAC? He doesn't know who AIPAC is apparently anymore. So to sit here and act like Gavin Newsom gives a shit about any marginalized community is laughable. And so it's like, no, actually, who really does care about marginalized communities? Because it's not Gavin Newsom. It is certainly not Gavin Newsom. So where do liberals get off saying this kind of shit? It pisses me off, because it's like, no, you don't care about marginalized communities, because you want to throw them under the bus so conservatives will stop yelling at you. But then you also, at the same time, want to use them as a guilt trip to get leftists to vote for someone like Gavin Newsom. It's disgusting, honestly. It's disgusting. Okay, let's watch this.
Usurp the chef. This is intellectually dishonest completely from top to bottom.
Yes.
Gavin Newsom has proven that he doesn't care about trans people. Gavin Newsom has proven that he doesn't care about the illegal nature of what ICE is doing when he platformed Ben Shapiro. And so to put the burden of this on Hasan, who's saying, I'm not going to settle for a fascist collaborator who always...
Especially not in 2026. Especially not in 2026. I will never understand how all of and like I said, it's not normal Democrats. I think normal Democrats can see Gavin Newsom is not trustworthy and can see and don't believe him and have seen what he's done on his podcast and who he's spoken to and how he doesn't have a backbone. And I think people have seen that. And they would say, yeah, no, I'm okay, right? And I think most people don't want Gavin Newsom. But because you have all of these like corporate media pundits and all of these like liberal people online who I don't know where they're like are they getting money to sit here and be blue no matter who? I guess, I don't know, Olivia Giuliana might, but it's so it's just kind of like frustrating, because it's like, no, you are wrong. Like you are so wrong, and you haven't learned any lesson after the last few elections. How have you not learned any lesson? How do you sit here and make the same wrong and have the same wrong stance over and over again? How many times are you going to sit here and just tell me to vote blue no matter who, and it's not going to work out until you realize that they need to actually have policy positions, that they can't just be marginally better than the Republicans. It's really ridiculous. Okay, anyway.
Always is reaching to platform fascists and to find common ground with them. Yeah. It's just intellectually dishonest, because Hasan has a record of standing up for trans people. And when Gavin Newsom did that with Charlie Kirk, that pain was felt through the trans community far and wide. And Pete Buttigieg did the same.
Yes.
And
yes. And I'm glad she mentioned Pete Buttigieg, because it's also Pete Buttigieg over here as well. Over here, I don't like Pete Buttigieg either. I don't even want him to run, but he probably will. No, I'm sorry. You can't do that anymore. And then just sit here and go and run for president and act like you're the morally superior one and that I'm supposed to be voting for you. And if I don't, then I hate trans people. No, actually, I care about trans people, which is why I don't want Gavin Newsom running at all. Actually, which is why every time Gavin Newsom has been put up as the person to run, I have been so vehemently against it, because he would not be a good leader. And everyone is okay. And I agree, between JD Vance and Gavin Newsom, we've already succumbed to fascism. Like, I mean, we already have succumbed to fascism. Like, we're here, we're in it. But like, if it's JD Vance versus Gavin Newsom, then we're done. We're toast. That's like, we're going to continue the fall. I don't like, we're like, the American experiment is going to continue to collapse. at that point. And I don't know what people don't understand about that. It's it's truly crazy. But yeah, and he threw trans people under the bus. He has thrown everyone under the bus that you can think of. Gavin Newsom does not care about any marginalized group. He does not care about, well, you know what? Do you know what he does care about? He cares about the billionaires. He cares about the 1%. That's who he cares about. Okay? That's who he cares about. All right. And then when he was on, which I forget which podcast he was on, but I was watching it earlier. I forget which podcast he was on, but they were asking him about AIPAC and if he was going to get money from AIPAC and all this other kind of stuff. And he's like, I'm not, and he said, I'm not going to vote for anyone who takes money from AIPAC. And Gavin Newsom just sat there going, interesting. It's just so interesting that people are talking about that right now. Wow. It's just so interesting. Like, bro, you are I hate Gavin Newsom. I hate Gavin Newsom so much. It's like, you know who AIPAC is. You know what they're talking about. You're choosing to sit here and not answer the question and just say something stupid because I don't know, because you don't want to answer the question and you don't want to be held accountable. Just like when Wajahat Ali asked Hakeem Jeffries about AIPAC, he was like, well, he didn't even answer the question. He just said, well, I get $23 is the average donation I get. And he basically saying like, oh, he's not getting money from AIPAC or whatever, or that he's like community funded, which I think is bullshit. And so it's just really funny because it's like, okay, but you're not answering the question. You're answering a whole different you're giving me information that was not the answer to the question that he asked. He asked about AIPAC funding, and you said, well, people can continue to do what they want to do. So you don't have a stance. You don't care. You haven't learned anything. None of you have learned anything from the past year. For the past year, all of these Democrats, all of these establishment Democrats have learned nothing. Yeah, okay. Newsom has the nickname of New Scum for a reason. He's like the epitome of a slimy, sleazy politician that gives Patrick Bateman vibes. I totally agree. And it's funny because something that I can bond with my conservative family over is hating Gavin Newsom. I'm like, I hate him so much, and it's something we can bond over because they also hate him. Take the win, lol. Is that you jank on your alt? Oh. Just channeling his, okay, sorry, I'm just like reading. I knew people wouldn't trust Gavin, but Pete is the one I think people won't see coming. Oh, yeah, you think, that's right. Do you think Pete might win? I think, I don't know. I just really dislike him, and he did throw trans people under the bus, which really pissed me off. But I think you're right. I do think that there are a good amount of people who do still like him. I think AOC has a really good chance, but it's being discussed whether she's running for president or Senate or who knows. The problem is, aside from AOC, I don't really know who else I would sit here and be like super excited for. I don't even like talking about this right now because we haven't made it through the midterms yet, and I still think that shit's gonna go down during the midterms. I think even more fascist shit is gonna go down during the midterms. So like we haven't even gotten to the midterms yet, so I think talking about the president is very I think it's just too soon to sit here and have our sights set on someone, because I feel like we need to get through the midterms first. We need to make sure we're even going to have elections in 2028 before we start expressing our fealty to like Gavin Newsom. But I if I were to choose, I would choose someone like Andy Bashir or AOC, maybe JB Pritzker. I'm iffy on JB Pritzker because I think he's gotten money from, I don't know if it's AIPAC, but I think he's gotten money from, and he's a billionaire. So I don't know. we don't have a very, the thing is, it's like, I want a robust primary, but the robust primary is going to be like Gavin Newsom, Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris, and like all these people that I don't want to run. So like, that's the problem. So I don't know. I really don't know what the options are going to be like. DNC better not fuck up this time. Oh, they will. I have no faith. I have no faith in them whatsoever. I have zero faith at all. I have no faith in the DNC whatsoever. I have no faith in the Democratic Party. I have no faith. I have none. I think everyone needs to come to the conclusion that they're not going to save us. They're barely even going to help us, right? Because even Tim Walz, like, he has deeply disappointed me, and his handling of everything in Minnesota. So I don't have faith in them at all, and I think that the Democratic Party just needs to be like rebuilt. I think it needs to be like tore down and rebuilt, because what we have now is just not sustainable in this time. And yeah, they're like essentially Republican light, and I just don't think nobody wants that. So I don't know. AOC president, Kona VP. Real chance in my opinion. Yeah, I really think she should run. I think she should run. Honestly, who cares at this point? Like, everyone, I've been telling people that, like, or I told people, like, my family that, and they're like, you want AOC? Like, she's young. She hasn't even been a senator yet. I'm like, bro, we have Spencer Pratt running for mayor in LA. We have Farrah Abraham running for mayor in Austin. We have the Shazam guy, or Shazam Wow, or whatever that infomercial. We got him running for office somewhere. I saw that earlier today. Donald Trump is our president. Like, honestly, I think she should just give it a whirl. I think she should just run, because who cares at this point? Who cares what experience you have? Who cares at this point, is my opinion. I mean, come on. I think, no, I definitely think that she should just run, and she should just do it, because I think there's a high likelihood she could win, because she has gotten Trump like Zoran. She has gotten Trump voters. People who voted for Trump have also voted for her. She is very, very popular in the Democratic Party. Even libs like her now. Like, I have an uncle that's more of like a liberal, and he loves AOC now. So, which is why I would have, which is where my like concerns or critiques would come in, is, because I feel like there's a reason that more liberals like her now. But I do think that she is a great candidate, and I do think that she should just do it. I think she should just run for president at this point. F it. I think it would be great. I think she could win. I think she has a real chance. And yeah, I think she would need to have a little bit more of a backbone on a lot of things. And I think that, because she is very outspoken, but she hasn't been as outspoken as she used to be. And I do think that, like, sometimes sometimes I think she doesn't have as much of a backbone on certain issues as she should. And so, I would of course have critiques, but I think she's the best choice. And I think she would definitely be the best choice, because we need someone bold who is going to not just, because we need someone who doesn't want to run on like getting us back to business as usual. We need someone who is going to drastically change everything that Trump did, and like kind of, and then try to fix it, because going back to business as usual is going to create the same problems. So we need someone who is going to sit here and actually make bold decisions and bold policies, and really not be afraid to change things a lot, shake things up a lot. And I think she's really the only one that would do that I can think of, that would run. But yeah. All right. Okay. Not one single person has announced they're running it. I know, which is why this is so insane that there are liberals online that are like, oh my God, I can't believe you won't vote for Gavin Newsom. Dude, in this hypothetical scenario that doesn't exist, we don't even know where we're going to be in 2028. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe you are not going to sit here and be like, of course I'd vote for Gavin Newsom. Come on. Like, I hope by the time 2028 comes around, if we do have elections, that people are so disgusted with establishment liberals like Gavin Newsom that he doesn't even run because he has no chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I want to be in 2028. I want to be somewhere where people are like, yeah, no, F Gavin Newsom. He's not even a thought. You know, like, that's where I want to be. Young is good. We had old. It was bad. Exactly. Tim Walls saying Walls has sadly been way disappointing for me. Yeah, I'm I'm actually very frustrated with him at this point. Her talk at Munich has people saying she could be looking or running for president over primarying Schumer. Yeah, she's gonna do one or the other, I think, definitely, because she's definitely been getting out there. So, like, I really do think she's gonna do one or the other. I hope it's president, because I'm sorry, Schumer, listen, he needs to leave. He's too old at this point, like, just generally, but he also needs to leave because he's ineffective. But I think we need someone bolder as president, you know, like, because who else are we gonna choose? That's the other thing, is like, I don't know who else there would be other than AOC, because everyone else I don't think is going to combat this fascist government in a way that's actually going to, like, change the systems we have for the better, you know? Every other person would just be getting it back to normal. Even Andy Bashir. I really like Andy Bashir, but do I think he would, like, completely abolish ICE? I don't know. I don't know. You know, I maybe not. Do I think AOC would, or at least try? Yes. And so I think that's what I'm saying. I don't know who else I would want. I don't know who else it would be. Anyway, I feel like I'm rambling. I like AOC. Me too. I've been wanting President AOC for a very long time now, and I think now is the time. I think now is the perfect time. I think 2028 is perfect. I think, Ro Khanna, actually, you're right. Ro Khanna is a good call out. I do get very upset with how cozy he is with, like, the tech bros in Silicon Valley. But I do agree with you that Ro Khanna would be a better choice than most other people. I agree with you. Ro Khanna's a good one. That is a good one, actually. Thank you. That gives me a little bit more hope for the coming years. Tons of people could replace Schumer and be way better. We need her. That's what I'm saying. Schumer, whatever. Like, someone, yeah, exactly. Someone else can replace Schumer. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. That'll be fine. We need someone who's like, we need someone who can have the type of, like, grandiosity as Trump. And that's what we need. You know, we need someone who is willing to talk shit, who is willing to go out there just, you know, like, we need someone who has the grandiosity of Trump, and we don't really have that on the Democratic side. But I do think AOC is, like, I do think she is willing. She goes out there and she says stuff all the time. Like, she tells people the honest truth when reporters ask her questions about the Epstein files, or, you know, or what was she talking about? Oh, Jesse Watters. She's like, oh, he like sexually harassed me on television, and they want me to like them or whatever. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. So I think she would be a good pick. They hate Ro now. Yeah, because of the Epstein files, I know. Khanna versus AOC would be a good debate too. It would. And see, and this is what I'm saying. Like, with liberals, they're like, no, we need to have one person and we need to vote for that person. And that is it. And you have to vote for them and forget everyone else. And I'm like, but there are so many other good people. And I don't agree with all of them on a, you know, I don't agree with all of them on everything. But like, there are so many people who are so much better than Gavin Newsom. And why can't we just give them a chance? Why can't we just have a big primary? Why do we have to sit here and be like, no, you have to vote for Gavin Newsom, because if not, then you hate everyone. You hate trans people, you hate marginalized communities. Like, if in this hypothetical scenario, if you do not vote for Gavin Newsom, there is something wrong with you. It's like, no, there's something wrong with you that you want me to sit here and like pledge my loyalty to this man who is like not even a good governor, who's not even good at standing up for the things you say Democrats are good for. You say we should vote for Democrats because you know trans people's lives are better, marginalized communities' lives are better, but yeah, maybe marginally, maybe just like a couple percentage points. But if you look at it, Democrats, and especially Gavin Newsom, do not have a good track record of standing up for marginalized communities, and have actually helped the Republicans harm marginalized communities. So it's not like Jennifer Welch said, it's not like he's being intellectual. Everyone who's sitting here being like, you need to vote for Gavin Newsom, is being intellectually dishonest. Versus JB Newsom debate. Yeah. I want them on that ticket together. Oh, that would be kind of good, actually. That would be a good ticket. She's got way more of that swagger than just about anybody else who I could see running, in my opinion. No, I agree. And we need someone like that. We need someone who the masses are going to like. And I just don't think Gavin Newsom is that person. So I just don't even think he's a good candidate on his own, you know? Like, I don't understand this uproar. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. We're going to look at some other responses. So we're going to look at Twitter, because Twitter is a hellhole. So this is someone saying the end of Hasan Piker for, which is so dumb. For not wanting to sit here and vote for Gavin Newsom. Okay. Okay, so then this is a couple different people talking. So down here it says, okay, this was the person that Jennifer Welch was responding to, but it was saying, when asked if he'd vote for Gavin Newsom or JD Vance for president, Hasan said he'd vote for third party. This proves Hasan doesn't care about any of the marginalized groups he pretends to support. All he cares about is taking money from them so he can buy more outfits for stream. And then this person says, can we move on from these left-wing creators that have built a business on just hating Democrats? It helps nobody but themselves. Who are you helping? Who are you helping by being a blue no matter who person? Who are you helping? I want to know that. Who are you helping? You, sir, I don't know who you are, but you, sir, are helping Gavin Newsom, okay? And by helping Gavin Newsom, you're helping all of his donors. You're helping all of these really wealthy people keep doing whatever they want to be wealthy. That's what you're helping. That's who you're helping. You are helping. You are helping all of these people in the 1%, and you are helping all of these ineffective Democrats sit here and just launder their names by you being like, blue no matter who, we have to vote for Democrats, we have to like Democrats, you can't hate Democrats. If you hate Democrats, you hate trans people. No, that is not true. That is not true. You are not, like, you are helping the Democrats. You are obviously getting money, or you are obviously getting clout from being blue no matter who and helping them no matter what. Because listen, there's a lot of reasons to hate the Democrats, and I think a lot of people hate Democrats, and I think a lot more normal, regular people look at the Democrats and they see them as ineffective. They see them as people who do not get shit done. They see them as pathetic. They see them as just milquetoast. That's how regular people see the Democrats. That is how That is what people think when they think of the Democrats. And so who are you helping? Who are you helping by sitting here and saying, oh, I guess if you don't like them, you don't like trans people? No, you're trying to guilt trip people into voting for people who suck. So I guess you must be getting paid off or something. I don't know. I don't know this man. I don't know his life. But it really confuses me, all of the people who sit here and just vouch for all of these politicians who are doing nothing for them, who don't care about you. They're doing nothing for you, and you're like, oh, we can't hate them though. Why can't I hate them? I do hate them. I do hate Gavin Newsom. I hate him a lot, actually. Kaivan, I don't know if I'm saying this right, this is why. I should have read this tweet first. Kaivan, who worked for Hillary in 2016 and has knocked the left since, posted after he voted that he ranked Cuomo #1 in the mayoral primary. How am I not surprised? And that leftists didn't actually know what was coming, and then deleted it after Zoran won. So you're just a conservative. Like, that's what a lot of these people, I get so frustrated because I'm like, you're just a conservative. Like, you're just conservative. Like, I don't think you care about trans people. I don't think you care about marginalized communities. Like, I don't think you care. Like, you're projecting all of this onto leftists, but you're the one who doesn't care. You're the one who doesn't give a shit. You were going to vote for Cuomo, someone who has literally been accused of sexual harassment, and you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna vote for him. I'm gonna rank him #1. But then guilt trip everybody else when it comes to Gavin Newsom. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You voted for a sexual assaulter. That's who you voted for. You voted for that person. You cannot sit here and try to guilt trip me into who I would vote for. Just bullshit. Crazy. Crazy. Okay, here's the next one. Okay. Hasan's statement to trans voters: Democrats don't care about you. They would literally shoot you in the effing head if it meant it would secure them an electoral win. That is true. Now, again, like, of course, like, this is the part that's so frustrating, because it's like, are things marginally better under Democrats? Yes, of course they are, because they are not like the Republicans actively trying to harm you and cause chaos, even though they still do some of that sometimes. But the problem is they don't try to stop Republicans even when they're in power. They don't try to stop the Republicans from causing harm and chaos when they're in power. All the anti-trans legislation and bills happened while Biden was president. Now, I'm not saying that's inherently his fault. What I'm saying is that Democrats did virtually nothing to stop them, and actually a lot of them threw trans people under the bus to placate Republicans, because they thought if they just threw trans people under the bus, that, well, then Republicans would stop yelling at them about it. But what they don't understand is that Republicans don't give a shit about any of this, and that they were just trying to win and create false outrage, to create fake outrage so people would vote for them. And so if they would have just had a backbone and pushed back for like 5 seconds, it would have been much better, and it would have yielded greater results than sitting here and also throwing trans people under the bus and also allowing them to usher this fascism in. That is what they have been doing. And so it's like really frustrating to me that all of these people who say they care about marginalized communities, who say that they're liberal or they're Democrat or whatever, and then they say they use them as a pawn, as like a guilt trip. It's fucked up. It really is. And sorry, I've been trying not to like curse as much, but it really is, because Democrats don't fight back, and they will throw people under the bus. They have thrown the Black Lives Matter movement under the bus. They have thrown trans people under the bus. They have thrown protesters under the bus. They have continued to do this over and over and over again. And the more they do it, the farther right we go, the farther right the narrative goes, and the farther we get away from actual, like, from an actual democracy. And so it's stupid. Okay, and then this person says, this is stupid. Andy Beshear is the governor of Kentucky and vetoed anti-trans laws during an election year when there was negative incentive to do so. Exactly. Well, okay, is he talking about Hasan? Well, okay, anyway. Andy Beshear did that because he's like the one Democrat that has actually fought back at all. But all these other Democrats have been throwing everyone else under the bus. So yeah, Andy Beshear did do that, which is one of the reasons I like Andy Beshear. But everybody else, all these other Democrats never stand up for trans people. They can barely say abolish ICE right now. You have Democrats scared to say abolish ICE right now. That's what's happening. ICE, they have just literally killed. They have murdered multiple American citizens at this point, and they can't even say abolish ICE. Like, that is where we are right now. So I understand that it's a false equivalency when you're like, oh, Republicans and Democrats are the same, because it is a false equivalency. They're not the same, but Democrats sure don't try to differentiate themselves, and they sure, it's almost like they don't want to. It's almost like they want to keep the same donors that the conservatives and the Republicans have. And so they tiptoe around issues and try not to be too divisive, because if they actually have a stance, then maybe they won't get that lobbying money, you know? It's stupid to sit here and then think and look at Democrats and look at the state that we're in right now and think that they've actually fought for anyone or anything, because they haven't. They've helped this fascist government come in. They have ushered it in. They have placated it along the way, and now we're here and they're barely pushing back and they're barely meeting the moment, because that is what has gotten us to this point. Okay, let's see this next one. Okay, so this is Pastor Ben, so this isn't gonna make me mad. This is something I'm gonna agree with. Anyway, here's the problem I have with Democrats. Republicans are literally running a singular narrative through all of their information networks around the SAVE Act. It's just voter ID. Everyone loves voter ID. Every detail of their narrative is a lie, but that doesn't matter when it goes unchallenged at a national scale. Democrats do not organize or utilize that type of structure to set counter narratives grounded in truth. They just tweet individual outrage of the day, of the vote, and fascism within one vote away of striking a fatal blow to the republic. Democracy deserves better. Exactly. And this is what I'm saying. They don't want to have any backbone. Like, what is it? I forget what news station it is, but some news station is not even doing the presidential polling anymore. They're not even going to poll on like if people like the president or not. And it's just like, we have come to a point where so many different people are bending the knee. So many different organizations are bending the knee. Media is bending the knee. All of this is happening, and Democrats are not, can barely fight back against the tangible things that are going to make it so we don't have a 2028 election. That's what's happening, and he's right. Ben is right. Gavin Newsom having these witty little retorts on Twitter the day of something happening, it doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything. Hakeem Jeffries needs to get the caucus together and needs to get them to vote a certain way. Same with Chuck Schumer. But they have no power. The people in Congress don't even want them to be leaders right now. And so they are not using their power. They're not using this moment correctly, because everyone hates the Democrats. I mean, everyone does hate the Democrats, but everyone also hates the Republicans. They could be doing so much more to go against them and to fight back against their narratives, but they don't. And instead, they sit here and essentially do almost nothing, or write strongly worded letters, or say, well, I guess we just need to, we need just to count on some Republicans to stray away from the MAGA agenda. It's ridiculous, because that's just not going to happen. And even if it does, don't you want to do your job? Don't you want to stand up for people and not have to sit here and rely on you, the opposition party, to do what you think is right? Like, it's ridiculous. It's pathetic. And then Hasan says Republicans know their agenda is repulsive, so they campaign like every day as an election. Democrats don't counter message every day. They barely fight back during the election cycle. And then Ben says, furthermore, they bottleneck all of the means of organized mass communications. Exactly. And so, and that's the part of this that we haven't even talked about yet. Like, not only are the Democrats have been incredibly poor at messaging and incredibly poor at fighting back against propaganda and right-wing narratives, they also, instead of using their resources and their money to fight against the right, they have used their resources and their money to fight against the left. So not only are they pathetic and not doing anything and incompetent most of the time, but the times when they are kind of competent, the times when they do really work hard, it's to go after people to the left of them. It is trying to counter people to the left of them. And so that's the other part of this that is so frustrating, is like, okay, so if they don't want to lose, if the Democrats do really care about marginalized people, and you're saying that if I don't want to vote for the Democrats because they're like, if I would, like, maybe vote, I wouldn't vote third party in a presidential election. I wouldn't. I voted for Wesley Bell, even though I hate him so much, and it killed me to vote for that man. It killed me. I will say I did vote for him, even though, like, but it killed me inside. I died inside that day. I was so mad, but I did it. But anyway, I do the lesser evil voting to a certain extent. You didn't. Oh God, you're better than me, Miles. You're better than me. I sat there and I thought about it too. I really thought about it really heavily. I was like, should I vote for him? What should I do? I thought about it and I was like, I'm just gonna do it. I shouldn't have. Oh, I shouldn't have voted for him. Oh, but I did, because it was between him and the Republican, and I was like, well, I guess I'll just vote for him. Of course, I voted for Cori Bush in the primary, but when it came to the general, I did not vote for him in the primary. I voted for Cori Bush in the primary. In the general, though, I was like, oh God, I hate myself, but I'm gonna do this. Anyway, I totally lost my train of thought because I was like, I voted for Wesley Bell. Oh no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't vote for I've only voted third party a couple of times, and it's been like very local seats, because we do have a Green Party member in our local St. Louis politics, in our local government, so they can win on like very local levels. So I have voted for third party on local levels, but that's not the point. The point is that if I was like, okay, I'm going to entertain voting for a third party, it's like Democrats don't even want to try to win. Like, they don't even try to win. And instead of trying to win against the Republicans, against their opposition party, they try to cut down the people to the left of them instead. They use all their resources and all their time and their power and money to cut down people to the left of them instead of actually trying to fight the opposition party. So if Democrats really cared about marginalized communities, if Democrats really cared about making this country better, then they would try to win. They would try to be a real opposition party. They wouldn't cut people down to the left of them. They would cut people down to the right of them. They would go against the opposition party, because and that's not what they've been doing by any means whatsoever. And so I do also think that like, all of these liberals who have gotten up in arms about this are being incredibly intellectually dishonest. And I think are just trying to save face for this party that is quite obviously failing. Yeah. Oh, Gallup. It was Gallup. Gallup sucks. We are in 1984. Words are worse than bullets. Yeah, exactly. Not saying abolish ICE is weak sauce. Exactly. And what I've seen a lot of like people online say is that abolishing ICE is like the middle normie position, which I think it is. Like, I think everyone who had to do with ICE, I think Christine Noem, I think Pam Bondi, I think Tom Homan, I think Greg Bavino, I think they should all go to jail. I think they all need to be held accountable. I think every ICE officer, anyone who joined ICE, needs to be held accountable. I think anyone who worked in these concentration camps, because that's what they are, needs to go to jail. I think we need to have the Nuremberg trials again, only for ICE and people involved in ICE. That's what I think. And I think that that's the only way we're going to combat this fascism, is to actually hold all of these people accountable. Whenever this does end, we have to hold them accountable, and we can't just keep doing this bullshit of letting it slide, like how Obama let Bush slide. We can't do that anymore. We can't do that. Or how Biden let Trump slide. We can't do that. Like, we can't play patty cakes anymore. They need to be held accountable, and they do. They need to have repercussions, and they need to be held accountable, or this is going to keep happening, or we're not going to stop any of this. They don't strengthen their positions either. Roe v. Wade, voting, all these things, they let. Oh my God, I like muted myself, and then I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Okay, I'm sorry. That gave me a weird freak out. Sorry. They don't strengthen their positions either. Yeah, Roe v. Wade. Yeah, no, exactly. And like, they barely talk about Roe v. Wade anymore, but like, women have been dying, and they barely talk about it anymore. And they've just kind of, it's just come almost like, oh, well, I guess it's overturned now. That's just like where we are. It's become our new normal. And that's what I'm saying about the Democrats. Like, they are not going to fight back. They don't want to fight back. So it might be marginally better under the Democrats, but once something's become our new normal, they don't try to fix it. They don't try to bring back abortion. They don't try to do any of this. They're just like, okay, that's our new normal. We're just going to maintain that. We're just going to maintain that new normal, and then just like maintain it from there. And then the Republicans come back in, and they make everything the worst again, and shit goes to hell. And then we have a new normal that's even worse than before, and the Democrats are like, okay, we're just going to maintain that normal now. And they never try to fix anything. They never try to change anything. And that's the problem. That's the problem. I'm like, what the heck? It's freaking unbelievable. Sheesh. Is Pastor Ben going to have a good or bad take? He's all over the place lately. Oh, really? Okay. I didn't know he was all over the place, really, because I really like Ben. But I guess I haven't listened to I've Had It in a while. I really like Rebecca, too. I feel like Rebecca always has great takes. But I haven't listened to I've Had It in a while, so I'll have to go over there and hear what he's saying. Okay. They need to grow up here and fight back already. Exactly. I might have left Kamala blank. I'm in a blue state. I voted for her. I did vote for her. Cause I was like, well, yeah, no recommendation from the party for Senate either. Literally. Literally. Yeah, I know, honestly. In Missouri, we need to get rid of Josh Hawley. There was a chance. There was a chance, and his name was Lucas Kuntz, and then he was running as like a at first, when he first ran against Josh Hawley, I donated to him. I like door knocked and stuff for him, and he was great. And he was like, I'm gonna go against the Democrat elites and da 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 da, and I'm gonna be I'm not gonna be the establishment candidate. And I told those consultants to F off. And then now, the last time he ran, I think he ran again, and I don't think he won. I forgot what he ran for. And he took on consultants, and I was like, okay, why did you do that? And like kind of toned it down a bit, and he still lost. So, you know, good old Missouri. You're muted. Thank you. Okay, you're on. Thank you. I had like a mini freak out. I was like, what did I do? I hit the button on my microphone accidentally, and I like freaked out. Super late to the party. I'm gonna rewind and watch in the beginning. Okay, thank you. Hello, Creflo. Also Hakeem Jeffries cringe meltdown. Yeah, it was a wonderful video. And I'm worried that they will let all these Republicans off the hook. No, they will. No, they will. I'm telling you, if we elect someone like Gavin Newsom or Pete Buttigieg or anybody like this, they are going to let them off the hook. They will do that. They will 100% do that. Where's Claire McCaskill? Oh, I hate Claire. Yeah, no, she does. I hate Claire McCaskill. I don't know where she is. She's probably on some news panel right now. I don't know. She's not good. People from Missouri just really suck. The only good person I feel like we've sent in a long time is Cori Bush. Every time I watch, like I was watching the hearing with, it wasn't the Pam Bondi one, but I forgot which hearing. I'm having all sorts of problems today. I apologize. Anyway, I was watching some hearing, and and Josh Hawley just was like horrific, and I'm always like, God, I apologize, man. We send the worst people. We just send the worst people to Congress, and I am so very sorry. I did not vote for Josh Hawley. That I did not do. I would never. He is horrible. And then our other senator is really bad too. Our other senator is actually even worse. If you can believe it. He's worse than Josh Hawley, and I forgot his name, even though I've called him and cussed him out a lot. He's the one, I forgot his name, but our other senator from Missouri, I've cussed him out I cussed him out in one of the emails he sent me. He sent me an email and I said F you and F ICE or whatever. And then now he sends me their emails. The emails I get from him are at like 1 a.m, 2 a.m. I'm like convinced they did that to me on purpose. Anyway, okay. Ben was defending, Richie Torres. He was defending Richie Torres. Really? Why? What? Why? Okay, he was with Chorus. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Is the SCL mayor good? I don't know. Jury's out, I feel. I don't know. She's all right. I don't know. The jury's still out on her. I haven't decided yet. I don't really trust her at all, and I don't fully trust her. But what did she do that I thought was interesting? She did like eminent domain on, I think, some of the land that was affected by the tornado, and there's a lot of private equity groups that are trying to buy it up. And I think they did eminent domain, or they're trying to the government's trying to take it or something. So I'm interested to see where that's going, because I do think that private equity thought that they would just buy up all that land and push all of the people who lived there out. And I did not want that. And I've been worried about that. So I'm interested to see where this goes. So we'll see. The jury's still out on her. Dr. Rashad Ritchie, I mean. Oh, okay. I saw this one video about him being like a fake, he has all these like fake degrees and stuff. I was like, oh shit. He was defending Dr. Ritchie from TYT, not Richie Torres. Okay. All right, we've gotten a little off topic, but that's okay. I'm having fun. I was just kind of like, oh shit. Okay, so then the last thing that I I'm going to talk about before we get into Anna Kasparian is a video of Gavin Newsom capitulating to Ben Shapiro, because I just want to have proof, tangible proof, that Gavin Newsom does not care. He does not care. He does not care about you or I. He does not care about trans people. He does not care about marginalized communities. He does not care, okay? His son was a fan of Charlie Kirk, all right? And he did nothing to interfere with that, okay? Now, I don't want to be a parent. I don't want to have kids. But if I did have kids, if there's one thing that I would be like, I would be damned if they turned out to be a conservative. That's all I'm saying. I would be damned. Like, I would fight very hard for that not to happen. And if I saw it happening, I would definitely intervene. It's just my opinion. All right, we're gonna watch this video. Degrees hella fake, really? Oh my god, that's so funny to me. That's so funny to me. And you know, it is funny because in that, I think it was that video where he was talking about how, like, Dr. Rashad always talks about, like, those Karen videos, but like, what is that really doing, talking about all these Karen videos? I don't know. Again, who am I to talk? I talk about drama. But I feel like sometimes I have insecurities around this because I'm like, man, I'm just like a drama channel. But I feel like I talk about internet drama and, like, I relate it to, like, real life situations, right? Personally. Anyway. There's a lot of like, I feel like people, like, look at drama channels and, like, oh, they just like look down on drama channels, and I'm like, I think I have some substance, but that's just something, sorry, that's like an argument I have in my head with myself. Anyway, Jessica Burbank and Ariana Jasmine also defended, of course. They did. I know they did, and I like them both very much, so I can't, like, get mad at Ben for that, because I do like Jessica Burbank and Ariana Jasmine. I like them very much. You know, I of course sided with Taylor Lorenz. He talks about the racism Anna doesn't want to cover at TYT. Yeah, that's true. You're right. That is true. Okay. All right. We are going to now watch this video of Gavin Newsom caving to Ben Shapiro. So Ryan Grimmett says, this is pathetic on so many levels. If Gavin Newsom can get pushed around like this by a pipsqueak like Ben Shapiro, he most definitely is too weak to be president. And I would have to agree, but let's watch.
Have now been dragged into this conversation, some drag, some run with, flags waving, into the conversation.
This notion of genocide.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, look,
Israel did not commit a genocide in Gaza. There is no standard by which Israel committed a genocide in Gaza.
Not true at all. Not true.
Actual level.
Just as a legal and factual level.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is your opinion of this?
My opinion is, I understand the tendency for people to make that, to assert that.
Why?
On the basis of the images and the
on the basis that it's true. On the basis that, yes, legally it is, yes, it's true. Yeah, no, it's true. International organizations, international governments no, this is a genocide. This is a genocide. So you being like, I get why people would say that. No, it's a genocide legally and truthfully, but you can't push back again. You don't want to push back against Ben Shapiro. You're just like you even asked him, oh, illegally. And he's like, yeah, he just lied to your face. He just lied to your face. And you're just like, well, I get it. No.
Nationality.
As it relates doesn't mean genocide.
No. And by the way, I agree with you.
And international.
I'm not.
By the way, he agrees with him. By the way, again. By the way, he agrees with Ben Shapiro. To all the liberals out there that want to get mad, that leftists don't want to vote for Gavin Newsom, watch this video. Just watch this shit.
And
I'm not
proportionality
excusing
doesn't
it.
mean that if you kill my child and I then kill 7 criminals, that I've been disproportionate.
I'm not
Okay, no. 7 criminals. Okay. Ben Shapiro is so largely mischaracterizing this. Do you know how many children Israel murdered? Do you understand how many children Israel murdered? They have murdered whole entire families. They have literally murdered whole entire families. They have murdered more journalists than any other, I mean, it's a genocide, but than any other war in history at this point. And so to sit here and be like, oh, well, you killed my child and we killed 7 criminals is so insane. That is such an insane mischaracterization of this. Insane.
disagreeing with you, but I think but I understand that tendency on the basis
That tendency to call something what it is.
trying to reconcile the proportionate nature of how the war was ultimately conducted and the
I
devastation.
have a question. Why do you feel the need to create a permission structure for that sort of stuff? I mean, meaning it's not true.
Yeah.
Why not just say it's not true?
Yeah, look, I don't know the definition, or I don't know the legal threshold. That's not.
So that's what I'm saying. How? First of all, I hate that he has a podcast. It bothers me deeply that all these politicians have podcasts. It bothers me so deeply because it's just so unserious that this man is the governor of a state that makes more money, that has more money than some countries, and he's sitting here on an effing podcast. Like, that just pisses me off, number one. Number two, how do you expect this man to sit up here and fight against people like Ben Shapiro, to fight against pundits like this, when he's sitting here, and I bet you well and good he knows damn well what the definition of a genocide is. He knows damn well that it's whatever Ben Shapiro is saying is not true, but instead he's sitting here, well, I don't know the legal term. I don't know the legal. Shut up. How, like, this is what I'm saying. This is milquetoast. This is incompetent. This is you. I see this, and I see someone who doesn't have a backbone, who can't fight back, who doesn't have any he doesn't have any beliefs. He's just sitting here being like, well, I don't know. You could be right. I guess. Like, it's pathetic. It is pathetic. Ryan Grimm is right. It's pathetic.
My opinion, so I don't share that opinion as it relates to genocide. I do not agree with that notion.
But you do understand that if you accuse Israel of committing a genocide, that now puts Israel in the position of it should be a pariah state, because states that commit genocide should
they should. Yeah, no, exactly. They should be a pariah state. Yes, exactly. They should.
Pariah states. Yeah. So granting legitimacy to that position inherently.
I'm not granting legitimacy. I'm just saying the devastation in Gaza at the human level. You've got 4 kids.
Of course, it's terrible.
No, but I think it's also important to absorb that a little bit more. Just as it was sick, and we were clear in our condemnation, these people like me, as it relates to what Hamas did in that act of barbarism and terrorism.
Yeah, but there's a difference between deliberate terrorism and wartime collateral damage, of course. And if we refuse to acknowledge that reality, then we end up equating
collateral damage. I have stronger opinions. It wasn't just collateral.
Really, you think that Israel is targeting civilians?
I think
yes, they are. But see, do you see what I'm saying? Even in this conversation, he is not. Like, Gavin Newsom is not a force to be reckoned with. Like, in this conversation, he is totally just bending the knee. He is just, he is not even trying to push back. He's like scared to push back. He's like, well, I mean, I don't agree. And like, we should just absorb that tragedy. And like, it's just very mealy mouthed. He doesn't even answer. Like, he can't even say, yes, it is genocide. He can't even say, yes, they're targeting civilians. Even it's been proven that they've targeted civilians. It's been like, everyone has seen it with their own eyes. And he's letting Ben Shapiro construct this false reality and is just going along with it and can't even push back. And this is the person that people want. This is the person that people are mad at, that people aren't like, oh, I would vote for that guy. Like, just ridiculous. So utterly ridiculous. Yeah, no, this is weakness. So weak. Weak. I remember when there was like 12 podcasts, now there's 12 million. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it really bothers me because, like, doesn't Lindsey Graham have a podcast now? Who is the audience for a Lindsey Graham podcast? Who is the audience for a Ted Cruz podcast? Who is like, you know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna listen to Ted Cruz. You know, again, what's even crazier is that there are people are like, you know who I'm gonna listen today? Lindsey Graham. That sounds great. Like, what? It's just insane. It's insane. Oh my God. Oh my God. How can he agree with Ben and then weasel out of that by going, IDK the legal definition? Exactly. Like, it's just so, it is so pathetic. It's so utterly pathetic. And after all of this time, the fact that Gavin Newsom has not done any, even if he doesn't mean it, but like the fact that he doesn't have an answer for this, or that he like a pre-canned answer for stuff like this, or he doesn't have like a narrative for stuff like this, just shows how much the Democrats don't want to fight back against the right-wing narrative, because they don't even have like generic answers that they've thought up for some of this shit. Like, they don't even have pre-canned answers that they thought of that would be, you know, for like PR. They don't even have that. They don't even do that. They're just like, yeah, no, I guess I agree with you, Ben Shapiro. It's insane. It's insane. Actually, don't shut the fuck up, Gavin. I know. It's so crazy. I want to talk about who is Lindsey Graham's audience no less than the next 60 minutes. It's insane. Like, I forgot. I think it was on Hasan's stream today. He was watching Lindsey Graham go, Israel. I'm like, who wants to sit here and listen to this man? Like, I'm sorry. Who is sitting here and listening to this man? It's just insane. Okay, well, we're this is gonna be a long one. Okay, the last thing we're gonna talk about is Anna Kasparian on I've Had It. Okay, Hasan found the sound effect board and is going off. I know, I was watching that earlier. And it's so funny because I'm one of the people that was annoyed. I'm not anti-soundboard, okay? I love people have soundboards. I love RM Brown. I love the Majority Report. But whatever soundboard he's using is annoying as hell, okay? So, like, he can get mad at everyone that's like, oh, they don't like the soundboard. Bro, you just need to have better sounds. Then I'll be on board, okay? But right now, whatever sounds that they are, is the YouTube. Okay, well, they're annoying. It's annoying. Like, RM Brown, I love. Hilarious. Majority Report, hilarious. All the time, hilarious. But I get it. He doesn't have a thing yet, so RM Brown has influenced him for the better. Yeah, I agree. The sounds are fine. He'll grow with them. Yeah, you're right. It can be worse than the TYT soundboard. I don't watch TYT anymore, so I don't know. I guess I'm just so used to like Majority Report and RM Brown that they have like they have the sound bites that are like so funny to me, because it's always like Tim Pool saying something silly, or you know, all these different people that like all these, they're like political references, and so it's kind of funny to me. But if it's just the generic YouTube one, so I get it. Oh, okay. The sound Hasan keeps spamming lately sounds like Alex Jones to me. Yeah, that's the one that I'm just like, okay. Like, okay. Like, the circus song was funny. But no, you're right. I don't know what that sound is, but that one sound really got me today. I was like, come on. I was like, do we have to keep hearing this? Is it the liberal clip? Oh, now I like that clip. That's funny. That needs to be on a soundboard because that's hilarious. No, it's this weird sound. I don't even know what it is. But the liberals clip, that's hilarious, of Alex Jones going, liberals, all fun and running around. And what did he say? Like illegal immigrants and euthanasia. Oh God, it's hilarious. Okay. We're gonna watch this video now. So Anna Kasparian is on TYT, and there's a couple parts that we're gonna react to. We're gonna react to this part, and then we're gonna react to the part where she says Tucker is not an anti-Semite. And this part I found interesting because it's about her apology. So they're asking her about her apology, and I'm very interested to see how Anna responds to this.
Just from your mouth directly.
Well, the apology was on something very specific. I have moved away from the, I guess you could refer to it as the progressive position on some.
I love how she rolls her eyes and then she says on some. No, you were not progressive. I'm sorry. You're not. You called yourself politically homeless. You're like, you essentially did your why I left the left shtick. So don't roll your eyes and say, oh, I guess I'm not progressive. No, come on.
Some social issues, and I'll be specific about that in just a minute. But first, let me just address the apology. So Cenk and I had a debate prior to the election, and I just felt that like using words like Nazi, which Cenk never did, but like Nazi, fascist, like these words, much like the word anti-Semitism, means something. And when you overuse it, it loses its power. And I got my graduate degree in political science where you learn political theory.
Oh, so you should know better. So then like you should see that this is fascism, and like other historians and professors have also said that it's fascism. So then like you should have known. So then like you're grifting. Okay, just saying.
You learn about fascism, like the actual definition of fascism, what it means. And at that point, the point I was trying to make to Cenk is Trump is not a person who's driven by ideology. Like he's not an ideologue, right? A fascist is an ideologue. He is an authoritarian. He has authoritarian tendencies. There's no.
But she wouldn't even say that. Didn't she say? Didn't even when Cenk said that he has authoritarian tendencies, she said, "But does he though?" Is that not what she said? Is that not what she did? Because I remember it very distinctly because we just went over it like last week. I just had a video about it like last week. He said, then okay, can I say that he wants to be an authoritarian or a dictator wannabe? And she said, but does he though? That is what she said, verbatim, but does he though? I'm sorry, I am not letting her off the hook. I am not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, she's apologizing now, and she really meant it like this. No, you were grifting, you were moving to the right, that was your purpose for that. You said, literally Cenk tried to bring it back and be like, okay, well then can you say want to be dictator? And you said, but does he though? That's what you said. That is a verbatim what you said. So you can't use this cop out of, well, he's an authoritarian but not a fascist, and that's what I meant. No, it's not. No, it is not. No, it's not. You were trying to launder Trump's name because you were moving to the right, and that's exactly what you did. And now that it's no longer acceptable, now that you can see the tides turning and you made the wrong decision, you're like, well, I meant he was authoritarian, actually. Like, that's what I really meant. No, it's not. No, it's not, and no, it wasn't.
Question about that, but fascism is something very specific. Like, identify what he actually is so you can address it appropriately. But then he gets elected, and what he's carrying out right now through the use of ICE is fascism.
Oh no,
so
oh no way, really? Oh no shit. No shit. He only campaigned on that the whole entire time he was running. Wow, I am so incredibly surprised. So surprised. Oh my God. Can't believe it. It's wild that no one saw this coming. I hate her so much. I hate her so much. Like, I think this pisses me off more than anything, because it's like now she's trying to repair her image. Now she's like, well, she's like, well, I didn't mean it like that. And it's crazy. I mean, he's fascist now. I see it now. No. Basically, what you said in that whole entire time that you were talking, what you said is that you know what fascism is. You were educated on it. Before you did your right-wing grift, you called him a fascist. You called him all these names. All of a sudden, you decided that you didn't see the fascism anymore. And you weren't even comfortable calling him a dictator then. And now you're like, well, as you can see, it is fascism, so I'm going to call it fascism. No, what I see is this is a cop-out. You should have known this was fascism. You did know it was fascism. You knew it was going to be fascism. You knew what Trump was going to do, and you were trying to downplay it because you were trying to grift to the right. And now you realize that that's probably not going to be very sustainable for very much longer. So you're trying to repair your image, and I am not having it. I am not having it. All right. The next clip we're going to watch is her downplaying Tucker Carlson, as she has been doing all the time. Now, this is the clip I would say that got a lot of attention.
Politicians, and we see it under Republican politicians, which I want to talk to you next. My next curiosity about you is I see you collab with Tucker Carlson a lot. And so I want you to tell me about that, because Tucker to me is a very dangerous person.
Yes.
Because he speaks to a lot of people in middle America that have extreme homophobia, extreme transphobia, and I have so many gay friends.
Okay, well, Anna's transphobic, so that doesn't really matter to her at all. So
in Oklahoma that are bullied by their churches, their families, their governments. And he recently was saying like FAGGOT multiple times. And he is clear-eyed on Israel, but I feel like that his position on Israel is also wrapped in, this is my opinion, in some anti-Semitism, the same.
No, it's not just your opinion. It's fact. It's fact. It's fact. And we should be able to say that. And I have been saying that about Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens specifically for a very long time now. I have been saying that it's all well and good that they can sit here and they can say that they care about Palestinians. And, you know, Jen can sit here and be like, oh, well, if working with Tucker means Palestinians get, you know, Palestinians get dignity, then that's what I'm going to do. Working with him did not give them that, because Cenk has no power to do that. And him talking to Tucker Carlson is not doing anything but helping each other, and is not actually changing the tides of anything. And it's ridiculous that he thinks it is. But like, we should not sit here and look at Tucker Carlson and look at Candace Owens as like the leaders of this movement, because that is going to take us very awry. Because Candace Owens is a fascist. Okay, she is. She will sit here. Well, I don't think she's a fascist. I think she's a grifter. I don't think she has a closely held ideology whatsoever. I do think she's a little crazy, but I do think she's a little crazy, but I do think that she kind of just grifts or does whatever she wants based on how people are thinking. But I don't see her as someone who I am going to look to when it comes to stuff like this. And the biggest problem I would say with Tucker and Candace Owens is now you have all of these liberals or people who are like center or whatever going, oh, look at Candace Owens, look at Tucker Carlson, and they start listening to them and they start hearing what they have to say, but then they start hearing what they have to say from a right-wing point of view about other issues. And then now they see Candace Owens and they see Tucker Carlson as this thought leader essentially, and they're listening to their takes and their opinions on other things that are skewed to the right. And so I do think it's dangerous to sit here and try to now launder Tucker Carlson's reputation and see him as this new enlightened centrist person, and same with Candace Owens. And I think it's really dangerous, and I think it's dangerous to put people like that, who their whole careers have been based off of dividing people, have been based off of bigotry. I think it's very dangerous to then prop them up as these thought leaders on the center or center left or what have you, and act like they're somehow now different. I don't think that they are. I think they're just opportunists, and I think they see where the wind is blowing. And Tucker Carlson is just as much a part of the Trump administration as part of this regime, a part of this 1% class, as all the rest of them. He is not an outlier, even though everyone is trying to make it seem like just because he's now on Fox News, he's some like independent journalist and he's an outlier. No, he is just as mixed up with them as anybody else in that administration, and we shouldn't be trying to say otherwise. And we that should be pointed out, and we shouldn't trust Tucker Carlson on anything, really.
Way his homophobia is. And I wanted to get your take on that.
I don't think he's anti-Semitic. I don't at all, actually. In fact, he has even in the past like supported Zionism. But I think once he realized it.
Yeah, and I think Zionism is anti-Semitic. I think Zionism is an anti-Semitic. I think Zionism is also anti-Semitic, actually, like inherently anti-Semitic. So I don't understand. like if anything, that just kind of proves the point. But sure.
Is how detrimental the U.S. alliance with Israel really is. He's kind of moved off of supporting Israel in the same way that he has in the past. I really don't think he's anti-Semitic. I think you raise a valid point about his views on, gay people. I definitely do agree with you on that. And I disagree with him. I have a completely different view when it comes to gay people, gay rights, gay marriage, and all of that. But in regard to the anti-Semitic question, I don't think he's anti-Semitic at all. In fact, he's pretty well read on the issues that hurt us due to our relationship with an alliance with Israel. And he articulates that regularly. And by the way, I mean, he had asked me to go on his show, his podcast, a year and a half in advance of me finally agreeing to do it. And part of the reason why I wouldn't do it initially is because I just thought there's no redeeming quality about this guy. There's not. I'm sorry, there's not. There's not. There is not a redeeming quality. There's not. I don't know if that just makes me a hater. I don't know. Like, this has been this is something that I've had to deal with a lot. Is like people coming to their senses about Trump, or all these different people being like, oh, I didn't know he was going to do this. And it's like, to what point should you forgive people? To what point should you give them grace or what have you? Where is that line? Where is that? And I don't know. I think it's different for every person, I guess. I struggle with it. But Tucker Carlson, I'm sorry, he has no redeeming qualities, and I will stand on that hill. I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill for like the rest of my life. He does not have any redeeming qualities, and I don't think he is ever going to change, and I don't think he's ever going to be a better person. I think that he I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he was like a psychopath. He deeply, there's something about Tucker Carlson that just makes me deeply uncomfortable, and I will stand on the hill of he is never going to be a good person, and he is never going to be redeemed, and I will die on that hill every day of my life. No use in having a conversation with him. But his producers were so persistent that I finally decided, okay, fine, I'll listen to his podcast. I'll make an informed decision and see if there's maybe a possibility that I'll do this interview. And I do think he gets taken out of context a lot. He's definitely deeply conservative. I'm not. So obviously we're going to have disagreements. But look, ladies, like to me, the most important thing right now is to free the United States from Israel. And if there are people on the right who agree with me on that, I am willing to work with them on that issue, to build a coalition for that specific issue and apply pressure to get our politicians to act in the way that we demand. Otherwise, if you do everything through the prism of partisan politics, we will be exactly where we are today, which is nowhere.
Okay, so something I want to talk about, because this is why I have such issues talking about stuff like this. He's a sociopath. Okay, I get those mixed up sometimes. But I agree. Like, you can just tell there's something so deeply uncomfortable and like disturbing about Tucker Carlson. Anyway, so something that I like I was talking about earlier, Cenk and Anna talking to Tucker Carlson, I feel like they're saying them talking to people like Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk and all these people that they've been talking to somehow is like building coalition, or somehow is like putting pressure on the establishment or whatever. And sure, maybe, you know, is it helpful that all of these different people are anti-Israel, and is it helpful if all these different people start calling their reps and like this is an issue that both sides, like all constituents agree on? Like, I do think that's a good thing, yes. But the problem I have with this is like, okay, you're not like Ro Khanna working with Thomas Massie. I think that's wonderful. And I think it's wonderful that it's wonderful what they've accomplished. I think them working together on the Epstein files has been amazing and great. And I would not sit here and get upset with Ro Khanna for doing that. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I can't believe Ro Khanna worked with Thomas Massie. But they're actually achieving things, and there are tangible results that are coming out of it. Not like accountability, because they don't really have, you know, they don't think that they have as much power in that sense, but they're at least pushing to get all of these people's names outed. They're pushing to get these files released. They're pushing against the DOJ and Pam Bondi. And I think that's really important. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, Ro Khanna, how dare you? I'm not going to do that, because they are doing something good and they are achieving results, right? That's Cenk talking to Tucker Carlson is not doing that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if politicians want to work together, like, I know listen, I'm not a fan of Cory Booker, okay? But I'm just using this because this is something I know. This is an example I know. Cory Booker has worked with Republicans on having better standards when it comes to like meat packing facilities and slaughterhouses and stuff like that, because the working conditions for the employees are just horrific. Slaughterhouse employees, you know, they do not have great mental health, is what I'll say. But, you know, and so I know, and improve the conditions around factory farming and stuff. Like, Cory Booker has done that. Am I going to sit here and go, I don't like Cory Booker. I'm not a fan of him. But I'm just saying, when I go to Cory Booker and be like, how dare you work with a Republican on this issue? No, I wouldn't, because it's good that they're working on that. But do you get what I'm saying? Like, these are politicians that are actually doing something, that are actually trying to achieve something. If you're just like Anna Kasparian, or you're just like Cenk Uygur talking to Tucker Carlson, I don't feel like it's to the same effect. And I just feel like they're trying to use them going on right-wing platforms so they can expand their audience, and twisting it to like, well, this is building coalition. And I don't think it is at all. And so that's my case, because I don't want to, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, when I talk about Cenk or when I talk about Anna, I'm not sitting here and saying, oh no, like, Republican and Democrat Congress people shouldn't ever work together. I'm not saying that, But what I'm saying, I'm just saying that Democrats and people on the left have to have a lot more fight in them. I think we need to match the energy of the Republicans. And I think we, like a lot of people on the ground and a lot of leftists are starting to now. But I also think that, like, for a very long time, Democrats have not fought back. All these media pundits have barely fought back, and it's just been we don't match the Republicans' energy. We don't match their energy when it comes to fighting against the opposition party. And you know, Anna and Cenk used to kind of match that energy, and now they don't. And I don't know. I hope I made that point that I was trying to make. But that's kind of where I'm coming at it from, because I do think working with Thomas Massie on that is great. Do I think Thomas Massie is a good person? No, probably not. But do I think it's good that he's working on this with Ro Khanna? Yes. And am I going to disparage that? No. But if Ro Khanna was to say to work with him on like abortion, then I'd be like, okay, what the hell, man? You know, and that's the other problem, is Democrats actually tend to work with Republicans on things like that. Is Democrats tend to work with Republicans or not push back on Republicans on things like the Lincoln Riley Act, you know? And it's like, no, that we don't need bipartisan for that. That's where we don't need bipartisan, you know? Like, that's where you should be fighting back. And so it's just like, I think it's different for every person, and I think it's different for every scenario. Yes. Anyway, I think I've made that point. Okay. She isn't even trying. No, I know. And she isn't trying. She said, I don't think he even wants to be a dictator. Thank you. RNC was filled with mass deportation signs. I saw this episode, and damn, yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing. I've just been watching these clips because I woke up and I saw that and I said, I can't watch this. But now we're going to look at the comments. The comments are not nice, like, whatsoever. And this is why I'm saying I think people on the ground, I think regular citizens, I think just regular voters are not having this shit anymore. I think regular people are just not having this shit anymore. Like, they're not going to be okay with you throwing anyone under the bus. They're not going to be okay with you trying to, you know, whitewash Tucker Carlson. Like I just feel like normies are just not taking it anymore, and I'm happy about that. And so I think a lot of people who started grifting to the right and to the center are going to come back around now because they're realizing they made the wrong calculation. Like XQC. I was just watching how XQC said he didn't support Trump. What a effing liar. What an effing liar. He was there with Aiden Ross. Wasn't he wearing a Trump shirt when he came in? Like, he is such a liar. But it benefited him to sit here and be with Aiden Ross. It benefited him to sit here and whitewash Trump. And now that all this shit is going down and he's being held accountable and people are mad at him for it, he's like, well, I didn't like Trump. I don't like Trump. Liar. What a liar. Liar. She defends Tucker, MTG, and Candace Owens in this too. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to defend them. You can agree, and I guess this would be a better point. You can agree with them on something, you know, like I can agree with people. Like, I can agree with my conservative family on Gavin Newsom. That doesn't mean I'm going to defend their other takes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and be like, well, you know, because they like Gavin Newsom, I mean, because we both agree we hate Gavin Newsom and he shouldn't be president, I guess, like, your take on this is okay. Like, your take on gay people is okay. No, like, you don't have to defend them. She doesn't have to sit here and defend Candace. She doesn't have to sit here and defend Tucker. You can agree with them on something and not sit here and defend them and try to launder their image. Like, you don't have to do that. It's crazy. Okay, anyway. I notice how she doesn't say anything about disagreeing with his transphobia. Oh, I 100% noticed that. I 100% noticed that because she doesn't. Because she does agree with him. Because she is essentially conservative. Midas, none. He is a sociopath. Yeah, I agree. And Massey and Kana is a specific one thing. Yeah, exactly. I think they've always been nuanced peddlers. Oh, TYT, yeah. Jank having a glass of wine with Benny Johnson is not helping achieve anything. What? No. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that. I'm not gonna watch it today because we've been going really long and I still have I still want to show the comments, but I'm gonna watch that and I am going to react to that because that's insane. And they were cracking jokes about Ilhan Omar. Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's what's so, because all of this is so disingenuous. All of this is so disingenuous. You are not trying to build coalition. You are trying to have a bigger audience, and you want to also have a right-wing audience. You are not trying to build coalition. That's bullshit. Honestly, that's how I feel about Cenk and Anna. Bullshit. Just straight up bullshit. You're not trying to stop trying to act like you're trying to build a coalition or build a bridge. No, all you're trying to do is gain a bigger audience and trying to gain audience from people like Benny Johnson, which is insane. Oh my God, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. Okay, also an effing idiot too. All right, okay, so last thing we're gonna go over is the responses to this. So here's one response on Twitter. So it says, I've had it, ladies, haven't been in the leftist spaces long enough to know the recent lore behind TYT. Either that or they're just letting Anna restore her image. And so I'm saying I've had it, and they have a myriad of different people on, and they have pushed back on like politicians and stuff, which I appreciate. But I think this person's right. Like, I just don't think that they're as online. And so we're probably all like, Anna Kasparian, what the hell? Are you kidding me? Like, she is so transphobic. Why would you have her on your show? And they just might not know the lore like the rest of us do. I'm not going to stand for Cenk and Anna sitting here trying to launder their reputations or restore their images. I'm not going to sit here and stand for it, and I will fight against it. I will keep fighting against it because F them. I can't stand them. Okay, anyway. So this is okay. So we're going to look at the comments because the comments are quite funny. 50 Shades of Fascism, and Anna and Cenk want to have a beer with each shade. Homeless problem is caused by the wage disparity and the hoarding of wealth by billionaires. Exactly. Anna Kasparian, but I don't know if she would agree with that. Anna notoriously does not like the unhoused population. Ask Anna. Oh, listen. No. Listen. Ask Anna how much empathy she has for trans and homeless people. Yeah, they should have asked that. This video couldn't have made more clear that Anna is old news. Anna pretended Project 2025 wasn't a thing leading up to the election. Shaking my head. Political science major? That's what I'm saying. Her saying that she's a political science major made me look at her in an even worse light. Okay? So then you knew you were wrong when you were saying that he wasn't a fascist and didn't want to be a dictator. You knew you were wrong, but you were saying it anyway is essentially what you just admitted. You were trying to make it seem like you were being sensible. You were being sensible. No, to me, it just proves that you're a grifter and you knew you were lying and you said it anyway. That's what it proves to me. So saying you're going to use the military force for your domestic policy before you get elected isn't fascism, but when you actually do it, well, that's fascism. Thank you. Anna is as credible as Erica Kirk's dry Kleenex tissues. These are some good comments. Yes, okay. Ah, yes, Anna Kasparian, the fascism understater who said Donald Trump was not a fascist. I am really looking forward to her zero introspection, to her right-wing pivot, nor all of the bridges she has burned on her shift to the right. Really not someone I'm interested in having normalized on the left-wing platform. I expect this to be a softball convo. A lot of people said it was a bit of a softball convo. How many times did I hear Anna and Cenk say Trump is hilarious during the last election? After about the third time, I was out on their bullshit. Okay. I clearly have a lot of people with I clearly have a lot in common with the people in this comment section. Why the heck would anyone want to listen to anything Cenk and Anna Kasparian have to say? And she said, wow, she didn't acknowledge any of the trans points you were making. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I think this might be the last one. Okay, Anna treated Ben Shapiro with more respect than she showed Francesca Fiorentini. She's a pathetic, shallow, narcissistic, transphobic loser. She should be ignored. I think that's a great comment to leave it on. I think that's a great comment to leave that on. Rolling on the floor laughing. Exactly. And I'm happy that there are so many people on the same page, and I'm happy that there are so many normies, or just like normie Democrats, or just like, I don't know, regular people who are like, you know what, because I mean, they are a left-wing podcast, but I think, you know, they probably appeal to more like liberals too, because, you know, they have Don Lemon on and stuff like that. And so I'm just really happy to see that no one's putting up with this shit. No one is putting up with people like Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur and Gavin effing Newsom, who want to use marginalized communities as pawns, and at one point want to use them to push them under the bus, to agree with conservatives, to try to placate conservatives, and then at the same time they try to guilt trip you by using those communities. They want to guilt trip you into voting for them and just going blue no matter who, and we're not standing for it, and F them. And yeah, all right. Okay, last thing. Earlier today, we've talked about Hasan a lot today, and earlier today when he was talking, something resonated with me so deeply. He was like, you know, I'm not that good of a not that he's not a good orator, but that, you know, he just goes off the cuff. And I do prepare for this. Like I write outlines, I have links, I have like a focus point, but I feel like I still ramble and I still yap, and sometimes I still don't come back to my point, or I'll just like ramble and then forget that I was making a point. I think it's ADHD. And I don't know why I said that. I just wanted to acknowledge that I felt that really deeply. So if I do that sometimes, I apologize. But, you know, it's why I like to talk and yap and all the stuff. Anyway, today's episode was really fun. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for coming to my live. I always have so much fun with you all. This is a long one, so thank you for sticking. Thank you everyone for watching and being here. And sticking around. Yeah, Anna and Cenk and Tucker and all this, like, I'm just so sick of the milk toast shit. I'm just so sick of the centrist shit. Like, we need to stop looking at radical ideas as if they're radical, I guess, or if that there's something wrong with them. Like, we do need to take the radical road. Anyway, you know, like radical, like abolish ICE. Like, they think it's radical to abolish ICE. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I'm going to keep rambling. Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here. Yes, this was a very fun stream. Yes, you be safe out there too. Let me know if you go to another if you go to another protest. I've been trying to go to them. I need to sign up for Cori Bush's door knocking. They're doing, oh yes, I will let you know. Okay, Walk Miles, I will let you know. I need to sign up. DSA keeps texting me and they're like, do you want to sign up for Cori Bush door knocking? And I'm like, yes, I do. And then I never do. So I need to do that. And I will let you know if I do. Because I need to do it because she needs to win. Anyway, all right. Thank you so much for joining today. This was really, really fun. And I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Before we go, I'm going to say thank you to my members. Thank you to Troy Roberto. Thank you to Crufflo. Thank you to Hey Skip J. I saw you guys today. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, on Wednesday, my video is going to be about Dan Bongino. So that'll be another fun video, be a fun time. I'm really excited. I really like this video, so hopefully you'll like it. And yeah, I will see you next Monday on my next live. And yes, love you all very much. And thank you for being here. Bye. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, I need to do this. Never mind. I'm a mess today. Okay, bye.